Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Um, I have a request for anybody that's watching this and anybody that's been following me for a while. Um, if you are already suffering from mental illness in any way, shape, or form, I wouldn't suggest doing this portion of the video. When I say mental illness, man, y'all know yourselves. I'm sorry. I know who I am, and I know what I should do or should not do. And so with this one, I want you guys to pay attention. Okay. I leave different messages in my description in these videos. You'll get to a portion of the description that's important to me. It will say, I am who I am. I am sent me. You shall have no gods before who I am. After you do that, I want you guys to, if you have a phone camera, turn on a camera or something. And I want you to record yourself in a well lit room. And after you do this, perhaps turn on the camera before you even read that portion. Just go to specifically, I am who I am, the blah 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 blah. And then what I want you to do is, if you have a Bible or something like that, and you have a camera, or if you have multiple things, like if you have two phones, or I want you to be recording yourself when you do this. I want you to read what I just told you to read, but then I want you to find a spot in the Bible that says about the shrewdest beast in the field. I want you to read around that point, but when you get there, I want you to say who I am instead of the serpent. And then I want you to pay attention to your entire body movement when you rewatch the video. I want you to pay attention to everything you say afterwards. I want you to pay attention to everything you do. Then I want you to stop the video and I want you to watch what you as a person do. I'm sorry. I want who I am as a person to watch what I do. I'm going to say something real quickly. We call certain things knowledge, awareness, intellect, but actually, those things exist. But a lot of times when we read books, we're not actually gaining awareness and knowledge or any of those things. You see, in order for a person to truly gain awareness, I have to come outside of myself and imagine a world outside of myself. What I just said is not universal. I am simply giving a slice of my pie. I want after reading that portion about being the shrewdest blah 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 in the field or whatever, I want you to actually read up to that. But also, when you see the word God in different word God, I want you to say who I am. When you see spirit, say spirit of mine. I want you to conjugate in first person because I actually made this video for an ulterior motive outside of telling you to do that. You know, y'all humans for a long time have been asking for Nephilim and magic and duh. And Dan warned me a long time ago. He said, if you want viewers, you're gonna have to give them something to, and that's why I'm hesitant to do what I'm doing. This isn't for viewers. I need people to understand something. And in understanding something, sometimes I have to see myself doing something outside of myself. So after even reading that who I am is the blah 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 in the field, I want who I am or the viewer to then say the most intelligent things they can think of. Start to think, start to write, whatever you can think. And then eventually, I want that person to say, I am sorry. Maybe 30 seconds after, a minute after, 2 minutes. I just want you. The point of this video is that I'm about to expose something to humans, current civilization, that they're probably not ready for. The reason I like the scriptures at the beginning that say, do not eat of the fruit of knowledge of good and evil. Verily eat of the tree of life. I don't have to talk about like instincts and what mankind are meant to do and blah blah blah. What I want to talk to the viewer about is, I'm sorry. What I want to talk to the viewer about is learning to gain higher levels of intellect while being humble and having humility, in a sense that I'm not being holier than thou, but not being annoying as fuck. What do I mean? I walk into a room and make a mistake. Oh my, I'm so sorry. Let me correct this thing. Or, the Lord God, no, Jesus King, I've sinned. I need to fast for 32 days. Look at the look at the difference between the two situations. First of all, now who I am has lost all power because something from an outside source. I am giving the power. I took out my temple and gave to that. I don't know who or what created that. I know who I am. But even more irony, see, the more I go against that book, that very character in that book said, why do you call me good? Only who I am is good. If you understand what I just said, please. I'm not calling myself in totality God. That's Catholicism. That's universal. I am who I am and you are who you are. I am simply here to say that the word 50% of the time is pure fucking evil. Why do I say this? Why do I talk about the dead letter like this? None of my videos are edited in the sense that I am making them prettier. This is all a long run video. Why was the word crucified by the Spirit? And continually crucified by the Spirit over and over and over. Now atheists exist. A whole faction of people that don't even want to hear it. Think about what I'm saying. Because every individual has who I am. And I am jealous. Does that sound familiar? Even me, right? If I am all things, I'm talking about a certain higher, the highest of the high. If I am all things, I can't do evil. That's mankind's propaganda and lies. I created Satan, did I not? I know bad fruits because I know what feels harmful to me. And so if something tries to attempt to hurt me and continually tries to hurt me, do I not cause it harm and I call it self-defense to perpetuate me? I'm not here to teach you that sacrificial, oh, no. I'm here to teach the balance. I am the stone that has been stricken. Look at a character in a book reading Rainbow named Moses. Moses struck a rock once. The temple of who I am was struck, and 10 laws were created and inscribed into that rock. But then that rock was struck again when Moses became upset and said, I will destroy these people. It's interesting how many people read the words, I will destroy these people, and then read all those murderous laws, and look what it's produced from it, and still call it holy. Because perhaps, who am I? What is population control? Do I want populated control? Do I think that's righteous at all? But from neutral, stop being holier for them now. What will happen if humans experienced overpopulation? I hope you understand what I'm saying. The balance. Humans don't have to destroy each other for population control. It's not population control why they do these things, nor do I believe in population control. Do you not understand how much death and how much mankind have to survive continually? And now you trying to control that? Y'all one plague away from taking Europe off the map. So, the word is evil 50% of the time, is it not? Is it not called God and Satan? Jesus said, I have the ultimate power because the Father gives me power. So then he could say, fuck off Satan, could he not? Because now I'm going to speak real world logic. I am walking down the street, punch them in the fucking face. They look like a racist. The fuck? I rebuke thee. Now am I going to argue with that? Because it's going to subdue me and confound me because it's my own wisdom playing in that fucking fairy tale. Because I don't see any of the indigenous doing this silly shit. And ancient religious men were very smart. How do y'all have all this technology? It didn't start in Europe. So I'm just letting y'all know. I'm not saying that to be like, you're justified with 50%. Do you not see me fighting Satan continually on these videos? What is the Satan? Who am I? What I'm telling y'all, who I am shouldn't be fighting a Satan or blindly following an entity called God. Gudan Gutis. We all call Goths and evil now. Remember when I said Sanatan Dharma was a god and now Satan and karma, two things considered evil by Christians? But now look at this. What is a Goth? Do y'all not call them evil and satanic? And y'all don't even realize that's where God came from. If I lie, Google. Gothis, Guthis, Gudan from Norse, paganism and mythology. And hell. Mixed into the English Bible by the Germans. Because William Tyndale died. And once he got a hold of the printing press, he plagiarized that book. And then the English got a hold of it once King James and everybody else did. John Wycliffe wrote a Bible first, but that's a whole nother story. Whole bunch of Johns. Everywhere. So, essentially what I'm telling everybody watching me is be aware. You like those scriptures about Gideon? Then maybe I should pay attention to who I am, learn to fix who I am, build who I am, love who I am, and my neighbor as who I am, which means if I don't want nothing to happen to me and I want to preserve me and my family, I should want to have some form of empathy for all families and want to think of all people and think, you got a black sheep somewhere in your family. Do you go, oh, that whited criminal collar? No. You go, oh, I hope I can help them and maybe we should get the law and I'll sit behind them when they murder people in the courtroom. But when it's other people, oh, this faction, that faction, gays, blacks, women's, Caucasian, racist bigot. We just don't have no empathy for nobody, right? Right. But when it's me, who the fuck is Paul and Peter? Is it not written, there will be plenty of false prophets, Peter Lasation, I rebuketh thee. But Peter and Paul are so righteous. What book? I don't have to do atheism, it ain't real. Jesus and God are characters in a book that are very real. And when I read it and try to communicate with y'all, I see something totally different. So, just like people are holier than thou, be it I'm smarter than thou atheism. And tell me how dinosaurs cause the bones, but then when I talk about Yeho hadn't been had called /Zekiah, but then when I talk, where'd they get Zechariah? So funny, where Netanyahu get that? Who's Akhenaten, Netanyahu? Where'd they get the name Moses from? From Amos. And his Exodus. Atheism. They're real stories mixed into fairy tale, Alice in Wonderland, The Matrix, red pill, blue pill bullshit. I'm telling you, there's a world out there of knowledge and information, and mankind is not as stupid and spiritual Valley of Hymnal. Why do you think they condemn the Valley of Hymnal now? Because smart men said you're dumb, pal. Right? Keep letting these religious people run all over our planet. Please. Yo, it look like it's been a strange day, but it look like I'm finna have to go to war in this motherfucker. Google saying I can't just mow them over, but look at this. These motherfuckers ain't giving me no break. God damn, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 this time. God, they do not want to go away. Now these ones, I think I could be wrong, but these look like the ones that's the foam puffy ones. But I'm still finna, this one big, bro. God, man. How big that one is. I bet you if I move that, it's some under there too. But I'm finna mow these bad boys down. Man, it's the mushroom kingdom in this motherfucker. It's been a weird day. I don't know exactly what's going on, but it looks like a truck is flipped over here. And I might have to get out and start seeing if I can help. I don't know how far Lexi is, but it looks like a whole truck is flipped and people are trying to help. Whoa.